Hello, welcome to Spotlight, the art of man in the airwaves.
Spotlight, brought to you by the Isle of Man Arts Council.
This evening, we catch up with poet and organiser extraordinaire Saoirse Coyle-Carroll with two events and a wonderful chance happening. Hear about the Isle of Man Festival of Choirs 2025. And look forwards and back in the second part of our chat with curator of the Hodgson Loom Gallery, Julia Ashby-Smythe. Remember, do get in touch with any creative artistic endeavours you may be involved in, planning, hoping to create, or would really like to put in the spotlight. Poetic, theatrical, musical, literary, ceramic, sculpture, drag, film, and all the others. Why not? Get in touch, that's all you have to do. Howard Kane at manxradio.com, Kane with an E, or spotlight at manxradio.com. I will read them, I will get back. It'd be great to feature you if you've got anything coming up. If you've never been in contact before, even if you have, or perhaps an event that happens every year, get in contact again so we can talk about it and get it on the airwaves. To get going this evening, poet, actor, event organiser and all-round artistic whirlwind, Saoirse Coyle-Carroll called into the studio the other day to give me an update on her latest events. We last heard from Saoirse when she'd been busy setting up poetry events and happenings in a variety of interesting, mostly fairly intimate venues. Well, not one to rest on her laurels. She's been doing plenty of those, but we chatted about a couple of slightly different, not to say unique, events she has coming up. But before we got on to the poetry, she had a great little story to tell me of a musical bent. The last time we were chatting, it's one of those wonderful arty connections, and that you were coming up here to have a chat about some poetry events, and whilst you were waiting for me, as people invariably do in the Purple Room here at Manx Radio, you started chatting to a couple of chaps who were there. And just tell us the story behind that, because it's a great little story.
Yeah.
You know, just a chance meeting, and all of a sudden it's sort of led to recording and a possible record deal and all sorts.
Yeah. So, as Howard said, I was waiting for him in the waiting room, and I bumped into Sean and Gary, who were over here doing some work with you guys. I just happened to spark up a chat with them because they're hoping to bring a music festival over here, which was something I was really interested in. And obviously, as I do, I just had to insert myself and be like, I'd love to help in any way. And yeah, we ended up chatting about a local band, Loft 47, who are absolutely fabulous, made up of some local boys over here. And then it all kind of snowballed and in the most fabulous way. And we've just come back, all six of us, from a week in Scotland recording the first part of their debut album. We got help from the Arts Council and Prospero for funding, which was absolutely fabulous, and a massive shout out to them. We wouldn't have been able to get there if it wasn't for. But yeah, and hopefully they should have some music out at some point. We were just chatting about, hopefully they can come in and give you a little rundown on the experience and stuff. But it was just the most amazing week, and now I'm like, that's all I want to do in my life. I just want to sit and watch musicians make music. It was so magical. But yeah, so it was fab, and it's just so fun, the chance meeting of it all.
It's purely chance, isn't it?
It's purely
just
chance.
The fact that you were there together, the fact that, as you were saying, you know, if you'd all been sat on your phones, you might not have started the conversation.
I'm never sitting on my phone in a waiting room ever again. Ever doing it. They were able to get 7 tracks down and recorded, and I'm not really that musically inclined, unfortunately, but they all have to be mixed and mastered and then put out and stuff like that. But they've always got quite a big following on the Isle of Man. They've got very good friends around them and stuff like that, so I'm sure people know them. But yeah, their music's incredible, and they're such talented individuals, and then when they come together, it's just pure, like, ecstasy almost. So they've recorded the first half of the album, and then fingers crossed they'll be able to get the second half of it recorded in the next few months, or if not, soon after that. We're hoping to go over for another trip to Scotland and get it all done. And Sean and Gary have been absolutely incredible, and Colin, who did all the mixing and mastering and sat in a room in the dark for an entire week and didn't really leave at all. He was fabulous as well. So yeah, it feels very special and unique, I think, which is very exciting.
So do you see yourself as producer, director, organiser?
I don't know, really. I don't really know where I fit. Hopefully, I think the plan is management for the boys, hopefully, with Vacancy Records. And hopefully I'll just fit in sort of doing a little bit of organising here and there, making sure they get to where they need to go if things take off, which hoping they will. Yeah, and maybe festivals or who knows. Yeah, big plans, hopefully.
Brilliant. Right, from music to poetry then, and a
Yes.
couple of, with your poetry hat on there, rather than your producer or management hat. So 2 evenings coming up, heading into the autumn. Difficult to say that when we're still in July,
I know, it's horrible,
we're
isn't
heading
it?
that way. Right, first one then, the 19th of September at the Laxey Working Men's Club. A great venue, and this is going to be a sort of fundraiser for medical aid for Palestine. What was the sort of thinking behind that?
Yeah, so I think a lot of people probably feel the same way I do, that there's this huge thing going on in the world. Obviously now a lot of Gaza are facing famine, which is devastating. I think I felt at a bit of a loss at what to do or how to help, and you feel just completely helpless sharing things on social media and not really doing anything else. I went to Phil Matthews, he works for Amnesty. I went to his vigils on a Friday night opposite the Loch Prom every Friday, and I met Devon there, who's a good friend of mine anyway, and we just kind of were like, we just need to do something. So yeah, we've got in touch with Laxey Working Men's Institute, and they were brilliant at coming back. They've actually given us the venue at a discount, which is so lovely. And yeah, I just talked to some of my friends and people I know about putting on some music and some poetry and a raffle, just to do our bit really, because it's so horrific what's going on. It's kind of hard to wrap your head around. And my big thing is I don't want my kids and grandkids to turn around in 20, 30 years and say, why didn't you do more? Yeah, so this is me trying to do my bit, I guess. And all proceeds are going to go to Medical Aid for Palestine. All the artists have very kindly said they're going to give their time for free. So every single penny is going to go over to them and hopefully make a drop in the ocean of impact, hopefully, anyway.
Excellent. And is this a mixture of jazz, poetry? Is it sort of a cabaret evening, or how do you view it?
Yeah, so it's going to be a sat-down gig. We've got some great artists like Callum Rowe, Laura Corkill. We've got my mum plays trad music, so she's going to do a set. A duet, Josh and Harry, they've confirmed that they're going to do it. And then we've got 2 of the Manx bards, Owen Atkinson and Stacey Astill, and then a few other poets I know. Matthew Ashton and myself, and then Devon's going to do a little bit of speaking because he's far more eloquent than me, and then Phil has agreed to come as himself or as Amnesty and just kind of give an overview of things that's been happening over there. So yeah, it's to give people a space to act in solidarity, I guess, and to feel like they're doing something and doing their bit. So yeah, if anyone wants to come, 19th of September at
19th of September.
7 o'clock.
So is it just tickets on the door? How's that working?
So we're putting out a poster, we're just finalising it, and it's going to go out on social media, either on myself and Devon's, and hopefully we're going to share it around. So we will be setting up so people can book online, but they're depending on how tickets sell, there may be tickets on the door that people can also buy. But we're hoping it'll be a sellout event. So yeah, it'll be £15. So, and then obviously there'll be money that you can pay for a raffle, and with Laxey you can bring all your own food and drinks in as well.
I was going to say that's usually that way, isn't it? You
Yeah.
can bring alcoholic beverages if you want, I think.
Yeah,
can't you?
yeah.
And your crisps, sandwich,
Yeah,
whatever you want.
whatever you like.
Yeah, come along and sort of enjoy
Yeah.
a nice drink and a munch whilst you're enjoying the music as well.
Exactly.
It's terrific. So social media wise, go to your social media sites, or where's the best place? Or,
Mine's Saoirse Coyle Carroll. It will also be shared on my poetry, X Poetry. We'll probably set up a Facebook group as well, but it'll be in conjunction with my Facebook. And then Devon, I'm sure, will be sharing it, and there'll be posters popped up here, there. So yeah, and I'm assuming some of the other artists will share it and stuff. So hopefully it'll reach a wide audience, and then Amnesty are also going to share it. So.
Sounds like a great cause, doesn't it? Do go along and support them. We'll hear about Saoirse's second event, possibly the first of its kind on the Isle of Man, next week.
Spotlight, brought to you by the Isle of Man Arts Council.
Come
The choral group Chanteurs singing in the Isle of Man Festival of Choirs 2017. Well, the festival is back in 2025 and promises an international lineup. To find out more, I spoke to festival director Gary Corkill.
Yeah, it's our 8th festival, so we have it over every 2 years, so it's been going around about 15 years.
Tell us a bit about this year then. What are the numbers like? What sort of interest have you got coming over?
So for this year's festival, which is taking place in October, we have an entry from 15 choirs. We have 3 local choirs, Londu Male Voice Choir, Manx Voices and Glenfarber Ensemble, and they'll be competing against 12 choirs from mainly England and Wales and a couple from outside the UK.
Oh, it's exciting. So it's an international festival.
Yes, I'm hoping that we can call this our first international festival. We have a choir from Sierra Leone who's currently waiting on visas, and if their visas applications are successful, they'll be with us as well. And we also have another ensemble, I think it's 7 voices from Croatia.
What's the sort of mechanics of the festival, as it were? How does it actually work?
So we run it every 2 years, and we sort of contact. We do a lot of advertising through Facebook groups or associations, and put the word out there. And we tend to find that choirs are always looking for somewhere a little bit different to sing. So with the old adage about coming abroad to the Isle of Man, we're quite attractive to choirs because they don't have to travel a long way. They get to compete, but also we advertise it as a friendly festival. So we want really choirs to come here and make music with each other, not only against each other.
And so, several different classes? So
yes, what we have, our main classes are, we have 4 on the Saturday. We have 4 classes, and that's classes for male voice choirs, mixed voice choirs, ladies voice choir, and we also have an open class. And really, that's a bit of an anything goes. It allows some of the traditional choirs to maybe sing something different to their normal music. And choirs like maybe Barbershop. I think last festival we had a gospel choir. So they entered in the open class. It's a little bit different. So it's a bit different, and it also gives choirs an opportunity to have a second sing. So those 4 classes, the 4 winners, they each sing 4 songs each, which is quite a lot, but choirs are travelling a long way, so we want to give them a good opportunity to show off to the other choirs and the audiences their vocal skills. And the winners of each of those classes then compete on the Sunday morning, and they do a separate programme, a 25-minute concert programme, again, to show themselves off. And the winner of that is crowned the choir of the festival.
Marvellous. What do they actually win? Is there a cup or is there a...
Yeah, we give class trophies. We also have a choir of the festival trophy, and the winner of the choir of the festival wins a cash amount of £1,500.
Not to be sniffed at.
Yes, again, we understand people are spending a lot of money to get to the island, so we make it attractive. The 4 class winners on the Saturday, they each win £500, with the runners-up winning £200. Again, it helps a lot of the choirs with their expenses.
And then there's the ensemble competition as well. That's run alongside it. Yes,
we run the ensemble class for between 4 and 12 voices, and that's on the Sunday morning prior to the final. And again, it's just a nice sort of start to the final procedures, and also it gives some of the choirs an opportunity where quite a number of choirs may have a quartet or a small group from within the choir, so it gives them an opportunity to have another sing, and we've got 1 or 2 entries from literally ensembles themselves rather than the main choir. Again, it's just a little bit extra for people to sing, and also something a bit different for our audience as well.
Who has the tricky job of adjudicating then?
We appoint an adjudicator from the British Federation, and this year's adjudicator is Maria Jagus, and she has been here to adjudicate at the Guild some time before, so she's used to the Isle of Man, and we are really looking forward to welcoming her onto the island.
And it seems to have had a bit of a renaissance, doesn't it, choir singing? Because it was sort of seemed to be popular when I was little, maybe when you were little as well. And then it went through, it seemed a bit of a lull where people seemed to lose interest in choral singing. Seems to me the last sort of 10 years or so, there seems to have been a massive increase in interest again.
Yes, and I think we can attribute a lot of that success to the likes of Gareth Malone, who's done his programmes on TV with sort of community choirs, I think military wives choirs, and you can definitely see a renaissance in choir singing. Maybe not so much as the more traditional formal choirs, but certainly there's a lot of people singing in choirs, and just as part of the festival, we've got quite a breadth of musical genres. Again, we have some very big Welsh male voice choirs coming. We've got
you said
ladies.
There's one around about 50 odd men.
We've got one of the choirs has 57 men singing in it. We have a Welsh language mixed choir, another big choir. We have a chamber choir. We have one or two sort of community choirs, but we also have this year, we haven't had for a few years, is a number of barbershop choruses, and that's male and female. So again, it's a real sort of breadth of music, music for all tastes, really.
I don't know why you never think of a female barbershop quartet somehow, or barbershop ensemble, do you? I always think of it as being a male territory, but presumably there's no reason why it should be.
No, absolutely not. And I'm looking at some of the music that's been entered, and it's some of it is the Welsh stuff is unpronounceable, and I would not even try to pronounce those.
Don't go there.
But we've got again our open class. We've got things like gospel music or musical theatre. We've got some pop. We've got a bit of Queen as well. I think a bit of Wicked. Along with the more traditional music. So again, there's just music for all tastes.
And it's promoted very much as the friendly festival, and whilst obviously it is a competition, so people and choirs up against each other and doing their best and hoping to come out with the top accolade. But at the same time, I think you're keen to promote this idea of everyone having a good time, a social time, and having time to actually see some of the Isle of Man. Yes,
we are. I mean, we give a lot of festivals. If you're in a class, all the choir members will get a ticket to get them into the class free of charge, but they have to pay to watch everything else. We give every participant an entry ticket that gets them in for the whole weekend, and we find lots of them come back and watch the other classes and watch the final. So, again, to support each other, even if they may not have got that far. But we also, one of our highlights of the weekend is our Friday night, which is a private event, but we invite all of the choirs to come to the Villa Marina, Royal Hall, and we all have a meal, which they pay for. But we all have a meal. Last year we had about 450 sat down.
Wow.
And again, it's about eating together, drinking together. And we also invite each of the member choirs to get up and do their party piece. Not on stage. Some of them just stand up from their tables and they'll sing. And again, we'll get the whole room joining in. And it's just a wonderful icebreaker. And again, we want people to like the Isle of Man. We want people to like the festival. We want them to come back. So, like most Manx people, you go that extra mile just for them because they've come a long way.
Terrific stuff. I suppose the thing is, people listening to this going to think, this sounds great. How can I go along and see some of it?
Well, the festival, again, it's on at the Villa Marina Royal Hall from 10 o'clock till 6 o'clock on October the 11th, and from 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock on the Sunday the 12th. And we sell tickets $12.50, and that gives you access to the whole weekend. So again, you can come and go as you please. 4 classes on the Saturday, the ensemble and the final on the Sunday, and again $12.50. It works out at something like 25 pence a song. Great value.
Terrific value of that, isn't it? You're not going to get that. You won't get that on YouTube, I tell you, or any of the other streaming platforms. And this is live, proper live music, and you can't beat live music. It has to be said for the experience. Lifelong singer yourself, of course. Do you get to sing at all?
Yes, I'm singing with the Londu male voice choir, and again, we're for the Manx choirs, the 3 Manx choirs, being able to sing alongside other choirs, and to hear other choirs, and again listen to music that you may not have thought about singing yourself. So we get lots of our ideas from the visiting choirs, and it's great. Just again, I'm a male voice choir chorister, so that's my favourite, and the thought of 7 other choirs, male voice choirs, coming to sing just absolutely fills me with joy for the weekend. And that goes for the Manx Voices, Glenn Farber, and all the other choristers that come to watch. Yeah, it's just a wonderful weekend.
Well, as Gary says, terrific value for money if you are a fan of choral music. Frankly, terrific value for money even if you're not a fan of choral music. Just great stuff. Get out there and support it. Tickets available from Villa Gaiety box office or, of course, at villagaiety.com. Finally, let's drop back down to the Loom Gallery in Laxey to enjoy the rest of our chat with curator Julia Ashby-Smythe. We enjoyed a wander around the current exhibition showing there last week. That's Soul Expression, still showing until the 9th, so you've still got time to get there. In the meantime, I wanted to know what else was coming up at the gallery in the future, and indeed going back a few weeks, the outcome of this year's open art competition on teeth, which closed a little earlier in the summer. I suppose, really, I mean, it is a competition at the end of the day. Who won that one? There's a sort of a judge and I think there's the public vote as well, isn't there?
Yeah, we had 5 judges, and all 5 judges picked a different overall winner. So I had to send the shortlist to another judge, and they picked an overall winner and a runner-up. And the overall winner was Helen Winter's fabulous roaring lion with all his teeth on full display.
Ah, yes, it was the one that was just behind us as we're standing in the gallery there with the sort of felt, and it came out of the...
Yes, it was 3D, it projected outwards, so that was the overall winner. But the runner-up was in the children's section, there was the very pink, very toothy Tooth Fairy. And
you were very fond of that.
I loved that. Somebody beat me to buying it as well. But it was so toothy. It was just fabulous. And so the overall runner-up, I think he's about 5 or 6, Arthur Kane, and his teeth are good, Tooth Fairy. He was just fabulous, yes.
Oh, it's terrific. And so the next one of those open art exhibitions will be what, 2026? Is it April 26th or somewhere around there?
Yeah, beginning of March-ish is handing in, and the theme is the word fruit.
Wow, you got the theme already. I wasn't even going to ask about the theme, but
oh no, we decided it pretty early on, so you've got a good scotch of time to be able to get into it. So whether you go down the botanical route of fruit, and there are so many ways that you can go with fruiting bodies and fruity, a little bit fruity, or you can fruit woods. You've got lots of wonderful ways to explore that particular word.
Terrific. So just fruit.
Just fruit. I hope I'm not overindulged with 1,000,001 still lives of
Apples.
cascading grapes. I might put a ban on still lives. We'll see. But
you're going to get 1 or 2, aren't you? You're going to get one or 2.
A cascading grape or 2, definitely. But yeah, it's great when people really go into it and come up with all sorts of wondrous things. You've got all sorts of poems and sayings, and apple of my eye, and the fruit of my loins. Sorry,
yeah, I can see where you're going already.
It just lends itself to another vibrant, fun, and also really serious. If you're going into mushrooms and that side of fruiting bodies and all sorts of wondrous, I can see just wild abstracts and really detailed close-ups. So yeah, we'll see what comes in, as ever.
Marvellous. Well, plenty of time, so if you haven't heard it before, get your thinking caps on now. Loads of time to think about that, because that's next year's open art exhibition here at the Loom with the title of Fruit. What's coming up next at the Loom?
The Creative Network Art Festival exhibition. There's the 2 weekends that they do, which are the 23rd to the 25th of August and the 30th and 31st of August. And to preempt that and launch the art festival, we will be launching the Creative Network exhibition on the 16th, Saturday the 16th of August. And we have 22 of the Creative Network artists showing in here right through to the 27th of September. And so we've got people, Jeremy Paul and Ellie Baker. I might be sneaking a few of my own in there.
Quite right.
We've got Mark Smith.
There's no point in working in a gallery if you can't put your own paintings up from time to time.
I'll just sneak a couple in. No one will notice. There's a good cross section. Erica Kermode, Maureen Kenyuk. So there's textile, there's photographs, Pat Tutt. There's watercolours, abstracts, sculpture. A lovely cross section of the Creative Network artists, and that launches the art festival.
Great. So that's some well-known names there. Just give us the dates again for that one. When's that opening?
16th, Saturday the 16th of August, again 2 till 4. There might even be wine.
Wine as well. Saturday the 16th, lovely. And that will run for...
Until the 27th of September.
There is indeed always plenty going on there. If you've never been down, shame on you. Do yourself a favour and get there soon. That's about it for now. We'll be back next week when we'll be hearing about the creative trail, among other joys. See you then. Be good, whatever you're doing. And of course, be creative about it. Hey, Mo.